Hi Pisces, how are you? This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage here for your beautiful love reading, prophecy. My guides are saying as we sail into this full moon. I'm recording on Thursday. I think the full moon is either tomorrow or Friday, depending on where you are in terms of when it really comes into conjunction. So, all my information's below. My calendar for self booking your reading is closed. I will still be available for readings. You have to book them with me. I have to do it manually now because I'm going to be on the road and I don't know, it'll probably be mornings and evenings. Okay, Spirit, what do you want? Nope, they're saying that's too much. So, anyways, just a heads up about that. Let's dive right in. Pisces, I think, did I call you Scorpio? I just finished their reading, so if I did, I apologize. This, Pisces, this is going to be really deep because your signatory, your energy, the Pisces impetus here on this planet and out in the cosmos is literally changing history now. All right, hang on a second, Spirit. What do you want? Okay, just one moment. All right, so we're going to set those aside. No, my guys are saying no. I'm going to put the cards down because things are going to keep falling out because of the energy. So I'm going to take the liberty to go very deep into the spiritual aspects of the Pisces experience and indication because of the extremely sacred moment that we're in. And I am going to do a love reading. But as you see, the cards that are already out on the table, I picked out the oracle cards, picked out the animal medicine cards, and I took two cards from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And even as the cards were coming out, I was literally weeping. And I'm having trouble speaking because the emotion is so intense. So go to the internet, look at Molly McCord, Pamela Gregory, people like that who really connect the astrology to the deep spiritual aspects, and you'll understand why. So we are changing timelines. Things are literally shifting here on the earth, and I assume and believe that it's happening for you as an individual and perhaps in your love relationship, or it will be happening because of the energy you carry, because of the tapestry, all the things my guides speak about. So let's just jump right in. This is from the Journey of Love Oracle, Fire and Ice. Do you see the figure standing there? So we see all this beautiful fire. We see the blue aspect indicating water, ice. Some months back now, probably I think it was back in March, through a quantum partner that I was gifted with, some realizations came to me about the transformational cycle, life, death, rebirth cycle of the water element. And it's much like this. There's a phase when people feel frozen and no activity can go forward. They may be closed, they may be cold, they may be feeling isolated, they may be stuck in their lives in one way or another, unable to move, unable to figure out how to bring forward the change. And then the sun comes out, right? And shines upon the ice, or heat is applied in some way. That's a moment that we're in. And it's not just you, Pisces, it's the Pisces element. That's what my guides are talking about. So you personally may not feel this. You may not feel that you're stuck. Something is being transformed within your element, and you will feel that. So when this heat is applied, the ice melts. It turns into water vapor and rises into the atmosphere. While it rises into the atmosphere, there are physical, chemical changes in the bonds. Chemistry, okay? Changes in the chemistry. The oxygen bonds are pulled apart, stretched, which releases hydrogen into the atmosphere. And it is that hydrogen that eventually, in a thunderstorm scenario, the pressure builds, the pressure mounts, the hydrogen gets released, and eventually there's a lightning strike. That's what's happening here on the earth. And I could fully expect that that would be happening in your life. All right. So when the lightning strike comes, which literally, please go look at Scorpio. Make sure you watch all the water sign readings on my channel this month. My guides are saying always, because there are strings of energy that flow in types of variation. All right, variations of the energy flow, all important because like in any fire sign, earth sign, water sign, your cohort are the other signs that share your element, and what is happening in their element impacts you. So I know it's a lot to ask, but just this once, even go check it out. You're going to see some things there. So fire and ice, amazing, right? Let's just check in real briefly. And just see what that has to say. Hang on, I get my little glasses on. So you are learning to hold the tension of opposites. Thank you, Spirit. Of those things that don't immediately seem to go together within your being, without collapsing into confusion, judgment, or denial. There is a passion and a serenity, creation and destruction, new life and death emerging within you, within your relationships. Sometimes this is hard to handle, and we want to make things simpler, just to let go of the conflict and complexity. Pisces, remember you are grand enough at the soul level to be able to withstand the rigors and the depths, to go deep, to live fully. To let the divine, I can't speak. Can you hear the energy? I guess what my guides want to say is that's how deep the energy is, and I think it's because of the fire and ice, because of the cycle that's being initiated within your own element, within your own star sign, your own star seed. As a clairvoyant person, I not only do I see it, but I feel it. And it's that overwhelming, right? I mean, what reader wants to cry on camera? It's a little disconcerting. I don't care. In these moments, I don't care. All right, let me see if I can get through this. Woo-wee. All right. So my guides are saying, that's a demonstration of how intense the energy is. And I think most of you know because you're probably already feeling it. All right, Spirit, help me speak, please. All right, so let the divine energy have its way through your being. In order to have this happen, it requires a willingness to stand at the center of pairs of opposites and eventually know that they are connected to each other and they exist only in relationship to each other in order to breathe and simply be. If you are consciously feeling the conflict in your life, internally or externally, then you are being initiated through this fire and ice journey. So stay present, okay? Woo, gosh, that was a moment. I'm just going to leave it there. The next thing that came out for you, Pisces, is look, of course, do we need to say anything? I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to keep it simple because probably if I open the book, I'm going to cry again. And I want to get through the message. Oh my gosh, I just love the water sign people. As a reader, when you go through the day-to-day of putting out readings, we really see the deep. We see the deep of each element, and we become very intimate with you. And that's why, for me, as an emotional person, because I have a lot of water in my chart, I have Pisces in the 12th house. Imagine the challenge of that. Woo! So obviously Pisces full moon, and we see it. We see the transformation. We see indications in your relationship, in your partnerships, but this has everything to do with all of humanity. I know you know that, Pisces. I don't have to tell you. Okay? So my guides are saying, give yourself permission to step off the emotion. So I'm going to go here to the spider. We'll check at the book. All right? For that, my guides are saying, check out the book. So it is about the web of life. I don't really even need to check the book because I know what it's about, generally speaking, intuitively. All right, the web of life. The way that we are able to speak to each other. What the spider is able to create and catch in their web like a dream catcher, right? And there it is. So the spider is about weaving the sacred web that brought humans together and brought forward the first picture of the letters of the alphabet. So there's a long story, sort of fairy tale about this. Let me just pick out the pertinent points, I guess. So it's important to notice that Spider's body is made like the number 8, the symbol for infinity and eternity. The spider's 8 legs represent the 4 winds of change and the 4 directions on the medicine wheel. That's how deep this moment is. Spider weaves the webs of fate for those who get caught in her web. This is similar to humans who get caught in the web of illusions of our physical world and never see beyond the horizon into the other dimensions that exist. So I just did a video about human destiny and human history and what's coming through as we literally jump timelines. Oh gosh. Into another dimension. And we see it, we know about it if we allow ourselves to feel it and to intuit it, but we also know because we know the cosmology. We know the destination we're going to. Pluto having its return, coming closer every moment with Saturn until they come into complete conjunction in an earth sign. Massive change, massive destruction, massive rebirth. Okay. So that's the energy you're carrying. It's completely fantastic. It's really deep, Pisces. And please give yourself permission to get a lot of support. You saw what happened to me. I'm just trying to do a reading, a blank reading. My guides are saying a blank reading, not particularly for any person that I know and love. That's how deep the energy is. That's how much it's going to affect you because of who you are. That's how much it affects me because I have Pisces in my 12th house, right? I've got Scorpio in the 8th house, and I've got Cancer in my 4th house. So I'm going through a massive transformation, just like you are. And I think it's important to, when appropriate, whether that was appropriate or not, allow the emotion to flow. Do not do anything to keep it from expressing itself. Okay? That's part, yes, see, I'm getting choked up again. So that's a confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. That's part of what it's for. It is the expression of the height of love energy into this dimension, this place, your life, your partnerships, your family, right? So I understand we live in a society that doesn't value that expression. So I get it. You got to use a little bit of care, but there are ways to say the words that others will hear and not be weirded out or frightened about. You know what I'm saying? As my guides always say, allow yourself to just carry the energy and wield it, which means radiate it out. Just walk through the grocery store, the post office, the gas station, radiating love energy, and that will be enough, okay? And it'll help you understand your energy on the inside. So, I guess that's enough of that. My guides are saying that's enough for that. So, in my readings, if you're new, welcome. That was shocking way to begin, wasn't it? My guides are saying, well, that's what it's like when you come to Moonrise Cottage. All right, so this is what my guides want to speak about with you, Pisces. We are going to talk about you, your heart, your soul, your lover, okay? So, total transformation, regeneration, a genesis point. Do you see your own symbol? Do you see the fish in the closest placement to this fetus-like being? The leaves indicate overwhelm. It's going to be, see how I just got overwhelmed? That's what they're talking about. Moments of complete overwhelm that have everything to do with emotion. And I just want to tell you, I wish I could show you a little bird. It's raining here, and a beautiful little bird just came and sat on my windowsill. It's such a mystical moment. Thank you, Spirit. So the elk is about having stamina for the long journey. The owl is sacred silence that comes through out of the darkness. Crow and raven are about mystical laws. An eagle is about sacred vision. And we know what the sacred salmon is all about. It's the seed of all wisdom. So there's a rebirth coming forward. This is actually the quest of skill, the Ten of Wands. Something is being released, and as it is released, it is regenerated into its new form. And this is the card that indicates you. So, my guys keep talking about the reason I started crying. Okay, so there it is. Do you see yourself, Pisces? I love that it's raining. It's raining really hard, which is making the light a little challenging. But I'm just so grateful this morning. So there you are. There's the fish. And in the very next moment, when the cycle ends on Earth and in yourself, the very next thing that happens is you're riding the fish. And you're diving deep into the ocean. That element that represents you here in this dimension, this planet. If you'd like to, you can get in that boat. Put your hands on the oars. It's a mystical vessel. It's golden oars. And you can sail away to any destination that you want to. So this is obviously the moon card, a major arcana, ton of energy right out of the gate, okay? So the imaginer is the imaginer of harmony. My guys just wanted me to be quiet for a moment so you could take up the energy. Oh my gosh, okay, so as we go through this moon, this is the Lover's card, right? Two of Cups, Two of Art, in a sacred dialogue with the energy that comes through at this moon. So please, I'm begging you, go look at Molly McCord. All right, anybody who can explain to you what is the energy that's coming through. So you're having a sacred dialogue that it's transforming the male part of you, the female part of you, your lover, whichever way this goes, doesn't matter, my guides are saying, dressed in her passion. She was very dedicated. That's Merlin and his sister. She was very dedicated to him. And Merlin came to a point of, my guides just said, psychological and psychiatric crisis. And when he was in the days of healing, because of the PTSD and the stress and the overwhelm in his life, she built that tower for him in order to give him many perspectives, many ways to enter and exit from his domicile, from the spiritual realm, and many windows through which to look in order to help him repair himself and come back to his wide perspective, his deep knowing. And we see the blue garment he is transforming because he's holding her hand. She's sending energy to him. They're communicating telepathically. Those are all the things that you are going to be experiencing, I believe. So keep your perspective wide. And if you're a person that feels like you don't have intuition or whatever, which if you're a Pisces, that's almost impossible to believe, but understand that that'll be unfolding for you now, okay? This full moon, do you see the light becomes the water and sifts itself through the tower? Look at that. It's intensely beautiful. So that's the first card on the human realm of your existence, okay? This is your partner. I'm going to move this over here out of the way for a minute. That's going to make me cry too, just so you know. I'll keep pulling cards out. So Spirit, I decided to use this deck because it's very mystical and very beautiful for your reading today. All right, yeah, okay. This is, my guides are saying, in a way it's going to be easy. All right, this is everything that's been coming out. I'm just going to keep letting it have its way. So that is the Three of Pentacles. In this deck, it's about coming into contact, direct contact with the divine, which does make you fall to your knees. Again, we're looking at male energy, and offer gifts and talk to the angels. And the spirit realm, the masters, all the words that people use. However you understand the divine in your life, perfectly fine with me. But like the moment I was having, It's what it brings. It is a moment of complete overwhelm because of the joy, because of the depth of the love, because of the depth of the knowledge. So you're entering a courtship with the divine now, Pisces, and you're literally in touch with divine energy. You are helping build the temple. The Three of Pentacles illustrates a young man, again, male energy, working on building a temple. And the sacred ones show up and they shine a light on the plans and they have some consultation. That's what your energy is literally doing, Pisces. Literally. My guides are saying, please review that so you understand, meaning check in with your visual knowledge of that card. So your energy, the Pisces full moon, the deep, watery aspect of universal consciousness and unconditional love, that's what you're working on for the universe and in your own life, in your love relationships, because this moon is connected to Neptune. There are a lot of planets in Virgo indicating healing, and there's the next card, okay? I think there are 5 planets in Virgo as we come into this moon. Critical points of Virgo. 29 degrees, with Mars wanting things to move forward. And then the energy slowly begins to shift as we come past the full moon. So I had a very intense vision. I made a video about it. I'll put a link on this video, one of those eye in the sky things, right at the end, so you can click on it and go right there. This is part of what it was about. This is about collecting flowers from that which has gone before. So what this woman is doing, she's of the mystical realm, she is picking herbs and flowers in order to use them for healing. These herbs and flowers grow up out literally from the bones of her, who was buried there, who is her brother, and it is that which has passed, that which has gone into the past on this human journey that creates the flowers. So in that video that I made, I explain a vision that has to do with, what do the flowers symbolize? And what does it mean to go into the past and reclaim the healing that is meant to come from that place while we step into the future? So there's something about that. Obviously, we're talking about your energy, but in yourself and in your love relationship, I think you're going to be experiencing some of these aspects, my guides are saying. All right, let's see. So this is your human walk, and that alone is pretty intense because of this incredible mystical moment. So there's the bridge card, the thing that ties your human walk together with your heart, soul chakra, your soul circuit, your soul's intention, the reason you came here, embodies as a Pisces. And my guides are saying, just imagine that intention on a soul level, that you came here embodied as a Pisces to participate in the destiny of human shift and change into the heart chakra. Hang on, there's a bunch of words coming through there. Into that place, the place of the sacred consciousness. You are embodied. You embodied yourself for that mission. Pisces, you and Capricorn. Woo, you're my heroes, straight up. And all of us carry strings of energy. We weave a tapestry of energy. That's what's happening now. So you, through this shift and change, become the king of skill. That's the king of wands. Power. The beautiful aspects of male power. And we see it illustrated here. This is a man who is a very strong, very intense warrior. And his shield is on the wall. Okay, my guys just said he has taken off his vestiges. I think they're talking about his robes and stuff. All right, he stepped down off the throne because he achieved the height of his power and he knew there was something more. He came across a journey. Do you see the ocean? Look. All right, he got in that boat and he went on his journey. And you see the golden light in the sand outside the window? So what he's doing now is he's using his skill to make shoes, the appropriate garments, the appropriate footwear for the journey he's about to step into, because he's learned into the height of his knowledge and he knows what true power is. And it has nothing to do with being a physical warrior. It's so deep and so beautiful. Whew, all right, Spirit. So on the heart, mind, chakra level, soul circuit, all right, there we have another major arcana card. This is the Hermit. So the king becomes the hermit. This in Soul Tarot is the counselor of truth. It is about all the things I just said, reaching a moment of supreme clarity and becoming a touchstone of truth in your life, the counselor of truth. See, standing in the full light of the sun. It's really beautiful. So, you know, these people were people who would live sort of away from the tribe. Okay, my guys are talking about the seers, right? Those people who were the shaman, the healers, the seers, etc. You're coming to a place on your soul circuit where this is, again, it's rising to the surface, up out of the ocean and out of your human incarnation. Do you see the transformation that Merlin's going through? Look, that's the outcome. Look at that. Astounding, isn't it? Okay, here's what's next. Ace of Cups. Getting all choked up again. All right, Spirit, give me. Ooh, I just need help. Please help me. All right, look in the top of the card. You see that shining city there? Rising up out of the ocean to bring forward a prophecy. It's an ace. The aces in this deck are prophecies. So you are working together with the spiritual realm in the literal temple, which means this place on earth, with your element at this full moon to bring forward the prophecy and the destiny for your own life and all of humanity. And I don't want you to feel overwhelmed while I'm saying it. I'm looking at the card for overwhelm. But just know, give yourself credit, my guides are saying. There's something really massive that's coming forward. And so what is happening is that while you transform, while you sail through this full moon, you help all of humanity. That's the prophecy about the shifting timelines that you'll see in that video when you go watch that video. So this is about one of the wisdom holders that comes to Merlin in his hour of need and reminds him about all the journeys, all the factors of his life. My guides are saying his heart and his mind, because he had PTSD, became dissociated. That's what happened to humanity. And it is your element that is assisting. So this is another dialogue, all right? Dialogue of skill. So assisting, my guides just said repatriation, which is a bizarre word choice. It's about reintegration of the self. It's in the traditional tarot, you're standing, holding the world in your hand, looking out over the ocean, wand in hand, and the wand of the spirit realm standing next to you. A new journey, a new destination, a new destiny coming forward. Because, do you see the fire and ice? Look at that. My guides they're not messing around this week. Go look at the Cancer reading. They were ripping cards out of my hands and playing with the wind just to freak me out. So all of humanity literally moving forward, and it's because of the energy. It has nothing to do with the horses. They're just a representation of power. The power to harness the energetics of the moment in order to change destiny and move yourself forward into the prophecy that's meant for you, and by so doing, bringing forward new growth, the sacred feminine, the sacred mother, activating now and being literally present. So for many years, I've had in my mind book. Can you see that? A little bit. Let me push it over. That my guides have been telling me, you have to write this book. And I think other people have kind of taken care of it. But It's about the return of the feminine, the return of the sacred feminine. And we are in that moment, literally. And it's very important for you to consider yourself deeply, to make whatever commitments you would like to make now that will affect your destiny for many years to come, some of us the rest of our lives. So it's a time for choosing. That's essentially what the mover of energy is about, the chariot card. Okay, so let's check in with your partner. There's a celebration going on, definitely, that sits between the two of you. It's the energy of the universe in this moment. All right. So your partner, this is why I was crying. Okay. I had to break this apart. I knew I couldn't get through the reading. So look, God speaks. Oh, God's choking me up again. That reflection of you. So many of you are going to be with a water sign, I think. Some of the guys are saying, it's a water sign mated with a water sign. They're talking about the destiny of the planet. But many of you may be, or it may because of your energy. This is what your partner's feeling because your energy is so intense. If you think about a state of meditation, think of this as a visual that comes to you in a state of meditation, and the third eye cracking open, and I don't know about you guys, but when my third eye is activated, I feel a sense of pressure there, and then it begins to radiate. It looks and feels much like this. So that's what's going on with your partner. That's who's standing next to you. Okay, while you're going through this fire and ice moment and weaving the web of the connection of all of humanity, your partner is experiencing the voice of the divine inside themselves physically, and I think energetically, and maybe they're getting some downloads. Because whoever you're with is very magical, mystical being, innocent, childlike, the way we think about a Pisces. Children believe in magic. They have a profound, cemented belief. And it is only as they grow into adulthood that they learn, quote unquote, that that's untrue. And that's part of the problem. So you've got somebody in your sphere, beautiful Pisces, beautiful water sign, that is profoundly in their baseline of belief because they have the experiences that you have. And it doesn't matter what the sign is. The guides are talking about water through the cards, but think widely because okay, my guides are talking about the fire signs. Think about the way Capricorn is radiating. Think about the way Aries is radiating. Taurus with Uranus in it. There's just an enormous amount of radiant energy everywhere, expressed in its own element. So it could be anybody. So keep your vision wide open. So again, one of the reasons when I saw the cards come out the way they did, I just burst into tears. And I sat here for a minute. I thought, okay, I'm over it now. And the minute I started to speak and run, the video came back. I'm going to read this to you. Many of you know about it. This is about someone who holds ancient records, the Akashic records, encoded literally in their DNA, that rises up to the surface and swims right in your direction. Okay? Look. Pisces. I just keep going, oh my God. Pisces. All right. I want you to know about this beautiful person. They carry literal magic within them. And then we're going to jump into the cards. I am going to pull some runes for you folks. Okay? So, whale is the sacred record keeper. It is very much like a swimming library. It carries the history of Mother Earth and is said to have been placed here by the ancients from the dog star Sirius. Whale has seen the events of history, including those that led to the settling of Turtle Island, which means North America. And Whale has kept the records and the knowledge of the motherland alive. Whale medicine people are coded in their DNA to understand that sound frequencies can bring up records and the memories of ancient knowledge. They are usually clairaudient or able to hear both very low and very high frequencies. They are usually also psychically developed and fairly telepathic. Many times they are not awakened to their gifts yet until it is time to use the stored records. Many whale medicine people are able to tap into the universal mind of Great Spirit. And they have no idea how or why they know what they know. It is only later, when they receive confirmation, that they begin to understand how and why they receive the impressions that they do. Whale medicine teaches us to use the sounds and frequencies that balance our emotional bodies and heal our physical forms, to recall why the shaman's drum brings healing and peace and is able to align with the whale's message. The drum is the universal heartbeat and aligns all beings heart to heart. Oh gosh, all right. If you pulled whale in your card spread, you are being asked to tap into these records and to allow yourself to be sung to by those who have the original language. We are the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. It is time to find yours and allow your voice to use this sound to release tension and emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, seeing your overall destiny as it is coded into your DNA, and of finding the sacred sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. After all, you are the melody of the universe. Wow. And the harmony is the song of all the other creatures that exist. That's why my guys were talking about the other astrological, they're calling them sign points. So it's important to express your own uniqueness with sound vibration. And as you open to this uniqueness, the animals that are your 9 totems may then send their sounds or calls to you and through you. Look, see the totems? Ah. So this will open your personal records so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of all of us. So, what's going on because of the temperance of your 2 energies is emotionally overwhelming, at least to me. Let's look at this beautiful partner. Somebody deep, no pun intended, somebody just straight up deep, rising up out of the deep through this magic because of this moon, because of this moment. And if this person's already in your life, you're just going to have a stupendous month, my guys are saying. Okay? Just allow yourself to stand in the mystical realm together. Okay, they want me, actually, I'm going to use this deck. Okay? Okay, Spirit. Interesting. There's some healing. When I was talking about, you see that? There's the split. There's the 3 of Swords. There's healing because there's passion coming forward now. 8 of Wands. All right. Okay, Spirit. Can you give us some messages, please, about this beautiful person, about what is meant to happen? Oops. As we go forward from this moment, what is it we need to know? Look. Thank you, Spirit. There it is. That's the card I was talking about. Okay? So your person is in this deep state of ecstasy, celebration with the divine. 3-3. Definite magic. All right, thank you, Spirit. So let's pull out another card. They are going into the Akashic Records as well, as we know they are. All right. 5 of Cups. Reviewing the past, grieving, healing, letting go, activating yourself in order to pick up the thread of love that they know exists. It came out for Scorpio. I think it came out for Cancer. Right? All the water elements. It's because we're changing timelines. It's because we're finished with this current life destiny. in all the ways we're finished with it and starting into this new dimension, this new millennia of human story. And it has everything to do with the water element. I think this is the whale medicine, the water element, reaching into the records, reviewing the past, and becoming activated. You see the chariot, the activation, becoming activated. Once that is reviewed enough, the records are clear, they can rise to the surface. See this? Throw off the cloak of invisibility, pick up the love energy that does exist, and walk across the bridge. It's a deep, sacred moment. And there's a knowing and a lot of sacred understanding. All right, so here's the next card. That's my guide said, you already said that. There you go. Standing in the full radiant light of the universe, waiting for the ship. Because you know it's coming. And we're talking about your partner. So I don't know, some of you've got to be mated with another Pisces. You know, we see light. It could be a fire sign, right? It could be with a fire sign. My guides are saying it matters, but it's irrelevant all at the same time. So don't get obsessed with that. You know, there's your partner. Accessing their records. See this? See how these two look into each other? It's astoundingly beautiful. They know whoever this person is. That is literally the process they're going through, and they know. And they're just standing together with their energy. The moment when you sort of start taking the first active steps, so the Two of Wands is where you stand there and you ponder. Three of Wands is, okay, I know the change is coming. Let me stand here and hitch a ride because my ship is coming. And I'm connected to the universe, and all I know is I'm going. Beautiful, really beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. And where I'm going and why I'm going is because I am the Empress. And I create destiny. I am fertile with the new timeline, with the new destiny for all of humanity. It's so gorgeous. And I suspect, Pisces, that part of what's happening is that you are communicating with your lover about what you're feeling and your deep spiritual knowing, maybe in a way that you have not before. Utilize this beautiful, tender, feminine energy, the void out of which all creation comes, all abundance. 9 of Pentacles, okay? Sitting here with the Empress, you can't get more energetic power than that in this way. King of Pentacles, okay? Sacred Mates, 10 of Pentacles. Last card, the Sun. So I just want to thank you, Pisces, for everything you're doing. As you can tell, it brings me to, my guys just said, into actual emotional clarity, which makes everybody cry. I don't know if they're just saying it to be nice to me, but, you know, so part of what they're saying is, look, you know, what you witnessed happen to me is what's going to happen to all of humanity. And I'm, I don't know, humble enough or vulnerable enough to just say, well, fine, cry, let yourself cry, because it's the emotion. It's the literal depth of the soul emotion that's coming forward. So use me as an example. Know that that's what's happening with much of humanity. We're still going to see the things that we see because Pluto's doing its work. But what's happening is you are weaving into the mix now, just like my guides are doing this, right? How the helix starts to wind because Taurus comes forward, hosting Uranus, the great awakener, as we come into the end of the days of Pluto in Capricorn. And we've got, so Earth, transformation, the positive awakening of transformation. Water needs to carry the codes because it is about love. So that's what water brings. The fire signs have Chiron and Jupiter bringing healing and expansion. It's so beautiful. And the air signs provide the atmosphere in which all of these things are fed and the place in which they can transition and move. Fire does not ignite without oxygen. Ice does not melt without the sun. Rain does not get created without the sky. These are the many, many factors of the tapestry. So, over time I've been saying that word. And I have yet to fully explain, but I think that's coming forward now. And I've been talking about the unified field and chemistry and physics, and it's bits of all of that. There are explanations from within all of that, and I think it was a full year ago. I believe it was October, and my house was empty. Those of you who are here with me remember. The house was empty. I was installing the stone floor finally after 20 years, and the energy, because I took everything out, was out of here. So this place came back to its original station, my guides are saying. It was a temple. It is a temple. I built a temple. So when all the human factors were taken out, I was pulled really deep. And I did a live stream about essential shamanism. And it was during the time when Venus was retrograde in Scorpio. So here in terms of a cycle, here we are a year later. And all those things that have come forward, all the eclipses, all the moon cycles, everything brought us to this moment. And beautiful Pisces, you are hosting this moment because it's destiny. So let's grab from this beautiful bag. Spirit, can you please speak to beautiful Pisces? Oh, thank them. Pisces and their gorgeous love partner, helping each other, reflecting each other, speaking, reaching into the mind of God, a mind of the universe, in order to allow that energy to flow across the world and the ocean. Astounding. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Yahoo. All right, Pisces. That just came out for Scorpio. All right, go watch that reading. That's the rune for defense. It's interesting that it's here. So I believe we're talking about the challenges that arise. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of a download. I'm going to let the book speak. So that is about the highest order of consciousness. So here you've been. Here we are. The part of humanity, the part inside of us that maybe wants to defend against this massive shift and change because it will bring them their own tower moment, like the tower moment I just had. All right. So that rune of defense, we'll check that out first. That's Awaz. It is about defense and avertive powers. It's symbolized by the yew tree, whose branches hang down to the ground. And then by some magic, they burrow under the ground and they regrow another tree in another spot. Just kind of cool. So somebody that was one of my quantum partners was telling me about that. So as we are tested, we fund the power to avert blockage and defeat. At the same time, we develop in ourselves an aversion to the conduct that creates stress in our lives. If there appears to be an obstacle in your path, consider that even a delay may prove beneficial. Do not be overly eager to press forward, for this is not a time or a situation in which you can make your influence felt. Patience is the counsel of Awaz. Nothing hectic, no acting needy, or lusting after a desired outcome. This rune speaks to the difficulties that can arise at the beginning of a new life. Often it announces a time of waiting for a spring to fill up with water or for fruit to ripen on the bough. Perseverance and foresight are called here for. The ability to foresee consequences before you act is the mark of a profound person. Avert anticipated difficulties through right action. And yet, even more than we are doers, we are deciders. Once the decision is clear and the doing then becomes effortless, it is then that the universe supports and empowers your action. Receiving this rune, you are put on notice that through inconvenience and discomfort, growth is promoted. This may well be a trying time. Certainly, it is a meaningful one. So set your house in order, tend to your business, be clear, and wait on the will of heaven. So we do have to wait for all things to unfold. But what my guides are saying is, you join Chiron in Aries, Uranus in Taurus, Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter in Sag, all those things. You now step forward to help weave this tapestry. Heaven's in control. The spiritual realm is in control of how the destiny unfolds. But you're being put on notice, and we see it matching up in your relationship, that this is what's coming forward. And my guides are reminding me of something that totally went past me when I did the full moon reading. So in that reading, there were a lot of images of vessels, all right? One of the central images was a vessel, and it was the 10 of swords carrying, that moment of death. There were two, we had this card and the 9 of swords back to back on the spiritual realm. So a massive shift and change, ending of a human cycle. Then when one of the last cards came out, it was about where are we going when we get in that boat. And what I didn't see at the time, because I was also overcome with emotion, in that card about sacred coming together, there's a boat, but the coloration of the card has changed from notification of death and ending of a cycle being adrift on the ocean. So go watch it. You just remember my guides are saying the links from this reading to that reading, because they're both for you. The other reading is meant to be wide for everybody, but you'll see many of the same themes. Okay, my guides are talking about this card and the card for the coming together in the full moon reading, okay? So check it out. Notice the little boat and where the boat travels to and who's in the boat, and you'll understand. Really incredible. So this is Algiz. It is about protection. Sedge grass, rushes. It is symbolized by the elk who have stamina for the long journey. Okay? So, oh gosh, okay, this is going to make you laugh. Control of emotions is at issue here. During times of transition, shifts in life course, and accelerated self-change, it is important not to collapse yourself into your emotions, the highs as well as the lows. New opportunities and challenges are typical of this rune, and with them may come trespasses and unwanted influences. It serves as a mirror for the spiritual warrior, the one whose battle is always with the self. The warrior's protection is like the curved horns of the elk, or the warning, the rustle of the sedge grass, for both serve to keep open space around you. Remain mindful in these days that timely right action and correct conduct are your only true protection. If you find yourself feeling pain, observe the pain and stay with it. Do not try to pull down the veil and escape from life by denying what is happening. You will progress, knowing that is your protection. That's it. So be present, right? Be in your emotional truth. Allow it to speak its truth. Don't collapse and get stuck in that place. This is overwhelming. It brings forward so much love and so much purity and passion and joy that it just cracks your heart chakra open, which is just what happened to me. So absolutely allow that to happen, but don't collapse, okay? Carry on. You know that saying, carry on? Be strong and carry on, because the universe and the tapestry and the movement of the planets that are encoded in each of us in our different ways, they're moving. And you are surely a very vast point on that shift and change, because you are the fulcrum, my guides are saying now at this moment, because Pluto and Saturn are inching ever slowly together, and we enter into that moment of conjunction with the most massive amount of love possible. That's what changes our destiny. So, Pisces, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on. Oh my gosh, you guys are champions. And thank you so much for all the Pisces people across the world that have come to my aid. My guides just said, my aid. You know who you are and you know where you are. And I'm hoping to connect with some of you on my journey. All the information about me and my website, the links are below. So if you need to contact me, just click there. Whoo-wee, and enjoy the moment of the moon and the effects of the moon. And know that whatever it is that's going on inside of you, everyone on the planet is feeling it. That's your power. That's your superpower, Pisces, as you already know. So thanks, gang. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy the moon.